In this world through clear eyes, and haters only made me more inspired to bless. On the clock right now, what the hell is the next? Like that feeling in your chest when you're ready to leave. Like that memory you had, you just couldn't believe. And we always got a little ammunition for y'all, cause we remember when they wouldn't even listen at all. Listen here, I can't go another year. No, I can't be up in here complaining. Gotta let them know I'm famous in my life. Listen here, I'm here for the world to hear. And I'ma make sure they know my name.
In 97, no Gunston and 6 Me's. In the streets made a natural born hustler. Believe me, drop real with it. That was my first EP. Grind harder than granted, but made it look easy. Take it to the top, that was the plan. Now I'm known worldwide, from Detroit to Japan. 14 years span, fuck hot nigga, I'm scorching.
Welcome back to the Jackson Report. I'm Chuck. Sorry for missing last week. We had a certain situation arise that couldn't allow us to record. But we are back and better than ever for this historic episode 39. DeWitt, take it away.
Right on. And everybody, once again, let me welcome y'all back to the Jackson Report. We took a slight break last week. We had a couple of circumstances arise, but this week we back in full effect. And far be it from me to not jump right into this week and help y'all understand that today, a lot of times I take stuff personally when it comes to situations I may see happen in the news or in the media or on Facebook. A lot of times, if I can relate to it, it becomes personal. But a situation has come about over the past week that I can directly relate to, and it makes it that much more personal for me because, as people all know, I'm an advocate for anyone that has lost their mother. And for this child to find out about it pretty much in an interview from a reporter, you know how informal that is? You know how basically fucked up that is? To find out on TV after you just came off a high of winning a race that your mom's passed away and they not going to let her run in the Olympics. And the thing of it is a couple years back, I believe when she broke the record down here at UT, in case y'all it's flying over y'all head, I'm talking about the Sha'Carri Richardson girl. But when she broke the record down here at UT, she happened to stay at our hotel when I used to work there. And I saw her walking around and just listening to her. I was just like, this little hood girl. And like 2 days later, I'm seeing her all over the newspaper like she broke the record. And I'm like, damn, I to be like steps away from her and like done interacted with her. And to see her about to accomplish her dream and to have all of that stripped away because I guess when people see you on TV or when they feel like you hold a responsibility, they forget that you're human. Or that they forget that this is still a baby almost. She only 21 years old, and you on national TV, and you find out about your mom from a reporter, not from an uncle, an auntie, a cousin. You find out from a reporter, somebody that don't know you from a can of paint, who always looking for the next dollar by putting a twist on some kind of story. That's enough to make anybody need to decompress. So she hit a blunt in a state where smoking weed is legal. And you ban this woman. And to me, just me personally, I feel like it's a certain agenda when it's starting to come to these type of things. Because not only did they ban her from running, I find out now that they banning a certain kind of swim cap that only people of color wear. And I wouldn't be so kind of fired up and ready and just so anxious to get into this topic if maybe a Olympic or two ago, you had a guy, Ryan Lochte, get into a full-out bar brawl like 2 days before his swim meet. He didn't get kicked out the Olympics. Michael Phelps admitted to smoking weed. He didn't get his medal stripped away. He didn't get banned from competing. Hell, the fastest man in the world, Usain Bolt, has admitted to smoking weed to deal with his anxiety and to calm him down. So why ban this young lady? When for the first time, all of the little girls coming up had somebody that looked like them, had the same characteristics of them. She had the long nails, the colored hair. She spoke a little bit, maybe a little too much Ebonics, but that's what made her real. Look at Tiffany Haddish.
I guess the one upside to this is that it says that the USA Track and Field organization fully agrees that international rules regarding marijuana should be reevaluated.
Yeah, and the thing of it is here's my thing when it comes to the whole smoking weed thing. 20 states right now have legalized it. Biden and his administration is pushing for it to get legalized federally. When do all of these old heads who probably go home and smoke weed themselves that make the rules decide that this is a dumb rule? I could see if it was performance enhancing. But like I heard a reporter say, the only way it will enhance your performance during a race is if somebody is at the finish line holding a bag of Doritos. And it said, in the article I was reading, I can't quote it verbatim, but some athlete tested positive for steroids and threw it off on, oh, it must have been in some pickles or something I ate. And they accepted that shit. So are these really rules, or are they really hidden agendas to keep a certain ethnic group from being able to run or being able to compete? Because so far this year, I think it's 3 or 4 African-American women that's banned from the Olympics for different circumstances that all of a sudden arose. And for them to not let that girl run, it's almost like the United States is so egotistical that they shooting their own self in the foot with this one to me. Why not let your best track athlete compete when you're trying to make a statement to the world? Why not? It's easy for somebody that can't put themselves in that young lady's shoes to say, oh, she knew the consequences. Rules is rules.
We got Ozymandias, Amatias Fox saying, she said she ate some pork, and they suspended her after she competed and placed. Didn't strip her of her records or nothing.
Exactly. I got it from eating a taco. It was in some pork. You know, we love pork down here in Texas. I didn't know it had steroids in it. Either way. See, here's the thing. When you growing up, your parents always say the truth will set you free. This baby got in front of a national audience, the world, and admitted, took full responsibility and was accountable for her actions. When do you say, okay, all right, under the circumstances? Because let it be any other ethnic group, it's always, well, under those circumstances, I guess, I suppose. But when it comes to us, it's always, oh, no, no. And then I'm seeing all of the hateful comments from people. And let me just say this as a person. If you've never had to wake up and walk the walk or live life without the person whose womb you was conformed in, whose womb you grew up in, if you've never had to walk a day in your life without that person, and I'm not talking about when you get 35 or 28, when you didn't have time to get molded by this person. I'm talking about at a young age. Then you really have no room to talk because you would never know what that kind of grief or that kind of depression is like. It hit home for me because I had to think about it. What if somebody during the interview told me, so how do you feel about your mom passing away? My first thought was, what? How the fuck do you even know that? Where did you find this out before I did? Why is my family not calling me about this? You, a reporter? So the fact that the only thing that she did do was hit a blunt should speak more to her character than for them to try to demonize this young girl. Why? Because let's keep it real, people. That girl got out there on that track and showed her natural black ass, and people hate that. People hate when we start getting a little bit of a leeway, when we start flipping the tables, it's always hated. She didn't even get a whole week of accolades and glory before the news started breaking. Oh, fastest lady in the world stripped of her Olympic rights because she smoked a blunt. She this. Then all of the memes and the jokes started coming. Some even from people that even look just like her. So here's what here's my message for all my peoples that look like me. I'm not speaking to no other ethnic group today. I'm talking to black people in general today. Here's my message for y'all. When do we stop being our own damn enemy and yet wanting everybody else to respect us? I go back to this topic, it seems, too many times. There was a young lady and she was from Dallas. It's not like Dallas saw rainbows and pretty damn lakes. It's not. And you can tell from her demeanor, she came from the hood like a lot of us did. So for her to still be running towards her dreams and to have them stripped away because some panel of people that probably do way more than smoke weed decide, oh, we got to ban her. She hit a blunt because she found out her mom died.
She put it really nicely. She said, to put on a face and go out in front of the world and hide my pain. Who am I to tell you how to cope when you're dealing with pain and struggles you've never had to experience before?
Exactly. And the reason is, when I read the story, when I saw it, and I'm like, she found out from a reporter. It made it personal because I guess it took me to a place where I could directly jump in her shoes. Like if somebody would have came to me and said, how do you feel about your mom not being here? And that was the very first time I found out. They wouldn't have to worry about banning me from the Olympics because I would be in jail. Like, how the audacity. Don't that go against some kind of rules as a reporter? That's a bit way too personal to just announce to somebody on air as if, do your research. This week, it's been so much going on that's so blatant. When I saw the shower cap thing, I said, come on, you're gonna ban a certain kind of swim cap that the majority of people of color wear. What kind of message does that send to us? Yet another thing about America where they're not trying to include us or where they're blatantly putting it in our face, y'all not allowed there.
I'm seeing an article that says the International Swimming Federation says it's reviewing its choice to ban inclusive swim caps.
Exactly.
So hopefully,
Hopefully
they're
they change
changing
the
it.
rule because it's almost appearing like we need to do everything in our power to keep them from being on the same playing field with us when we go represent our country. It's like I posted an article the other day on my page, and Shannon Sharp was breaking it down, and I would play the article, I would play the video on my show, but I don't feel like going through the copyright infringements and all of that because, there's a point coming in my show today where it might be time to say bye-bye to Facebook. But when I saw the article today that it's official, she can't run the relay, she can't run the 100 meters. They just left her name off the track and field list for the Olympics, period. How fucked up is that? Because you already going through a lot, but yet you still out here running, not only for yourself, but you running for a country that never really gave two fucks about you, to be honest. But you did that. And to find out devastating news, and you chose a certain way to cope with it in a state where that way to cope was actually legal, you try to just demonize this girl after just putting her on a pedestal 2 days beforehand. For the first time, the country was geeked up. Ain't been a runner like this since Gail Devers and FloJo, and y'all leave her out. Is it because rules is rules, or is it because they fear the inevitable? So to my black folks, when do we start getting fed up? And not just marching, not just talking, not just, we should fuck them. None of that, none of the hood shit. When do we start getting fed up and putting our power to use? Because you think about it. If every person of color said, fuck the Olympics, what would there be to watch? If people felt injustices in the NBA, and every person of color said, fuck it, we not playing this season, how much money would the NBA make? That goes with all sports and entertainment. Because y'all think if we did it, there's people that's allies with us that would walk with us too.
It's interesting because she was poised to win.
Exactly.
She's poised to get the gold. So they must not be making money on her getting the gold.
See, the thing of it is you hit the point I was going to get to. You think about it like this. The one thing that America fears most will end up becoming the face of your country. Oh, hell no, we can't let that happen. We can't let this girl with the long nails, the different color hair, we don't know what color her hair gonna be when she run the Olympics. She might have put red, white, and blue in her hair. Is that the image we want to represent our country? The truth? Or do we still want to keep the world blinded to the truth? Because at the end of the day, like Shannon Sharp said, until we address the real problem, you built the country off the blood, sweat, and tears of the one ethnic group that you hate the most. So is it a pure hatred thing? Or is it really you just not man enough to look in the mirror and face your truths and address the real issue? It's like this gonna keep happening over and over and over again.
But it's weird because there's plenty of American black athletes who are hailed in the Olympics, like
Exactly.
Serena Williams, and I think his name's Tyson Gay,
Yeah.
the second fastest man in the world, the American champion.
Yeah.
So it just seems weird that they would, let someone else off the hook for
Right.
some pork that might have had some
Some
steroids,
steroids
in it. But
in
then
it.
this lady gets, or this girl, she's younger than me, gets
Banned.
stripped of all of her opportunity. But luckily she's only 21, so she'll probably be in the next Olympic Games. But I don't watch the Olympics. So if I had to have a reason for why I'm not watching this year, this would probably be it.
Yeah. And see, the thing of it is see, when you talk about the fastest US man, and it's
Oh, sorry. Ozymandias said that they talked shit about Serena in the Olympics, had her on
Exactly.
random testing for steroids.
they did. They tried to say, oh, she's too stacked up. She's built like this. It's always something. It's always something. When it comes to us, it's never just clear cut like they did it. They were the better athlete. It's always we have to find out why they were able to do that the way they did that. It's always a catch. It's always something. And their biggest fear was, we gonna let this ghetto-looking child with the long nails, different color hair, get on the interviews. She talking like, I want to thank my girlfriend. The baby ran up in the stands and hugged her grandma after she won that race. Is that the image we want the rest of the world to have of America? That this is the best that America has to offer? Well, goddamn it, it is. Because at the end of the day, and I hate to be going into stuff like this because of this politically correct culture that we've all living in now. It's just certain shit that we're better at. It's just certain stuff that we're genetically better at, and it's always frowned upon. It's always hated on. It's not like we can go on a water polo team and be the best at it. That's not what we do. You're not gonna see one of us get on the hockey ice and score 70 goals. No, that's not what we do. But when we grow up in neighborhoods, you gotta find some kind of sport. Either it's hooping or football or rapping, or you get a good break. So for all them people that sit on them panels, that's always judging people of color, until you've grown up in a neighborhood where your family don't have much money, you looking around, your neighbors don't have much money, but as a community, y'all trying to stick together to make sure everybody at least be able to maintain a certain lifestyle, you'll never know what it's like when them kids strive hard to reach a certain level or to get to a goal or to achieve a dream. Them kids be running not only for themselves, but they be running with their family in mind, trying to make a better way for their family, the people around them, their community. And y'all strip them of the opportunity because of something you decide just isn't right for this particular person. Oh, but it was right when Michael Phelps admitted he smoked weed. It was right when Ryan Lochte went over there, caused a whole bar brawl, and he still swam for the U.S. team. It's right when Usain Bolt, because he's the fastest man in the world, when he says, oh yeah, on my wind down, yeah, I'll blow a blunt. I might smoke the ganja. What makes it all right for them and not all right for this young lady? Regardless of how much we do, regardless of how many different politicians get up there and try to cater, oh, I got the black folks back. When do we finally see some real change? Why? Because they made Juneteenth a national holiday? What the fuck was that? A holiday we've been celebrating for years. So they gave us the day off and we get paid for it? Whoop D. What about an anti-black hate law? What about retracting and looking over all of these false ass weed cases in the states that's now legalized them? Let them boys out. People sitting in jail rotting because they got caught with a half ounce of weed. But now weed's legal in the state. When do we start having the real conversations? And speaking of real conversations, I know it's a lot of people that's watching this one that's going to be able to relate to this. So about over this last 2 weeks, every day when I open up my Facebook, I'm getting all these notifications. Your post goes against community standards. Your post goes against community standards. Your post goes against community standards. And I could see if I was posting this like recently, but they going back 9, 10, and 11 years ago, grabbing posts and then sending me messages like, oh, if you reach this amount, we could deactivate your whole account. So why is that? If we live in a country where there's the freedom of speech, or did Mr. Zuckerberg play everybody for fools and try to put it across like, oh, I got this forum where everything's, you're allowed to be you. This forum is for everybody. No, it's not for everybody. It's for everybody that speaks the agenda that you want them to be a part of. I've been on Facebook, made a comment, have folks say the N-word, have folks say the most racist shit ever. And I check their pages and watch and see them commenting and doing their thing. Why they not banned? But when I put a comment like, oh, I could just see that Confederate flag waving in front of your household in response to being called the N-word, before I could even switch pages and look back at my timeline, I'm getting the notification. Your comment goes against community standards. Look back on there, my comment gone, but the comment that called me all out my name is still right there. So as I sit streaming live on your platform, Mr. Zuckerberg, when do you level the playing field? And not just make it about your own agenda. Oh, and I might get banned. Who gives a fuck? There's always YouTube and plenty of other platforms. But when? It's like I look down my timeline, and even in the case of the Sha'Carri Richardson girl, I see all these hateful comments. They knew this, that. All these hateful comments towards black people. And I didn't want to have my show or one of them things where it's black power this, because I'm a very open-minded person. But the truth is the truth and facts is facts. When do we stop living in two fucking Americas? Yet they always try to make it seem like, oh, we're ready to sit down. It's just that we don't understand. Oh, Black Lives Matter. Oh, we're an ally for this. Are you really? Because you'll never know what it's like for your skin to be darker than that tanning booth you walked out of. You'll never know what it's like to have the same credentials, if not better, the same experience, if not more, but not to get the same job because of a certain name or a certain look or a certain appearance. I did research into a lot of stuff before I did this show. I was researching some stuff that said a lot of companies look at resumes and based off name alone disqualify people. That sounds too urban, as they say. So again, I say, when do we face facts and see the truth for what it is? Should we even celebrate Juneteenth? Because what are we really fucking free from? What? When because this girl looks like she epitomizes everything that says black neighborhood, you strip her of all her rights to run at an event she rightfully earned. And it's almost sickening to always have to come back to this same table of when do some shit change? When? I've seen promo little things on Facebook and I'm like, they let that fly? And what incited all of this rage from me is I told you, cuz when I inboxed you, I told you this one might get me kicked off the platform. A comment my cousin made on a post I had about Outkast. And I forget the comment because it was on there and gone so fast. You criticize that. It goes against community standards. Why? Is it community standards or it goes against the Zuckerberg standards? Why are you always targeting the main race of people who make your platform what it is? Why? Here's just my humble little opinion on why. We don't have to go to school 365 days out the year. We don't have to have millions of dollars. A lot of us didn't come from stable households. But one thing about it, we're innovative. If you give us an inch, we're going to run with it and take a mile at the slightest opportunity. Why? Because we know how to get it out the mud. And that's what America fears. That's what this country fears. We were the architects. We were the founding fathers that built all of this shit. But yet, somehow over time and brainwashing, we allowed the roles to reverse. And now we felt like we just this inferior race. When, like I said, if all of us said the hell with basketball, who would want to watch it? If all of us said the hell with football, who would want to watch it?
Ozymandias makes a good point. But ain't that the American way, getting it out of the mud?
Nah, it's not the American way. The American way is savagely taking it. It ain't the American way getting it out the mud. The American way is getting it from somebody who was already getting it and stealing it from them. You have to, it's almost like I wish for everybody that's watching this show, you have to go on my page and scroll down my timeline to a video, an interview. I posted a Shannon Sharp with Skip Bayless. Everything that man said was facts about our country. Everything. And until America has its day of reckoning, where the truth comes to the light, it will always be as as blatant as they make it. It will always be as blatant as they make it. If you're American and you're a person of color, basically, we don't give no fucks about you. But come from another country. As long as it's not Mexico, come from another country. We're going to let you live tax-free for this long. We're going to give you all of these breaks. We're going to give you breaks on schooling. But like old Biden said, rules are rules. And it makes me wonder, did we even get duped by that? All of these things you promised. You should have been the first to speak out. This girl ran her heart out. And one decision in a traumatic time. Now all of a sudden, rules is rules. But rules aren't rules when it's not somebody that's black. All of these rules that's put in place to strip our athletes and our people of notoriety of their credibility. I seen something else interesting. Since the NCAA now is going to, players can get paid for their likeness and money being made off their names. Get that boy Reggie Bush his Heisman back. Get a Fab 5 record back. It's so many things that's been implemented that don't make no damn sense to me. The NCAA is one of the biggest crime organizations in the world to me. You making billions of dollars off these young athletes, yet a lot of them be struggling. Parents going broke to keep them in school. But y'all make billions off of their blood, sweat, and their hard work. It's fine time they should have been getting paid. I really want to see how that's going to play out over the years. It's so much that's been going on all day at work today. I couldn't wait to get off, to be able to sit up here and get this off my chest. I get so sick of the way it's blatantly done to us. And the fact of I always pay attention to how we handle these situations. They trying to drag this girl, and she handling it all so gracefully. Yet they trying to paint this picture. Like, oh, we should have known. I hear people, oh, you should have saw that. Look how she this and look how she that. But then let us say the wrong comment when rebutting against somebody that said something stupid. Your comment goes against community standards. If this be the last time I get to stream on this damn platform, we gonna tell the truth and shame the damn devil today. I've been watching all year long, just incident after incident after incident. I see friends on my list and we interacting, and the next thing I know, they gone. And it's like a month and a half later, it's like, woo, I'm back now. They done let a real one out. Like, you was locked up, Facebook jail, Facebook jail. Oh, the social platform that is supposed to be the social gathering space, free speech, you no agendas. Oh, but you better not tell the real truth on that mug. Oh no, those comments go against community standards. So what the fuck are the community standards? It's all right to talk down on people of color, but it's not all right for people of color to defend themselves. It's all right to gay bash, but it's not all right for a gay person to defend themselves. If we live in a country that says there's the freedom of speech, when do we actually have it? All of these people that swear they so woke, when do y'all pay attention to the real shit? As opposed to trying to say you woke just because you ashe, or you got some crystals, or you got a black friend, or you think you know. I'm woke, I'm aware. Are you really?
Danny just said that using the word doggy goes against their standards.
Every fucking thing goes against their standards. Unless you get on there like, well, Chuck, howdy. Let's put another shrimp on the barbie, Chuck. Let's go hunting. When? Is this show gonna go against community standards? It's utterly ridiculous to me how blatant it is, but yet when we call out the perpetrators, it's always some bullshit excuse given. Or no, what we have to do is look at this. Biden really thought he did something, was proud. He was a proud American today. Juneteenth will now be a federal holiday. Who gives a fuck about a day when we wasn't really free any goddamn way? How about sitting at that round table and making a law for all the innocent black people that get shot for pulling out a wallet or telling them, I have a license to carry. Okay, slowly reach, and then you still get shot. Change that shit. Don't give me a day I already been celebrating. Most times that happens on a weekend when we off any damn way. And all of this coming on a few days after what? Independence Day? America's birthday? All my people that swear they woke, when do y'all really wake up and realize we celebrating the birthday of a country that don't want us here? And I saw you all walking around with your flags on, your red, white, and your blue, and oh, it's another day to do this and do that. The problem, oh my black people, the problem is we're so easy to fucking please. Give them a day off work. Tell them it's paid. Money. It's so easy to appease us with a couple dollars. But we don't fight for the bigger picture. If Michael Phelps can smoke weed and still dive in a pool and swim for a medal, why that girl couldn't hit a blunt and still run to help win a medal for a fucking country that don't really want her ass here anyway? So it kind of goes in to show you just how stupid and dumb the thought process of these committees be? You done tried to stack up all these odds against this young lady for a decision any of y'all would have made when y'all was that age. And the crazy part is that this anti-doping committee probably do more drugs than the people that they ban. You think about it. You see movies, you see all of this. The corporate world is savage.
I would be very surprised if the committee didn't do any drugs.
Exactly.
It's not like they're getting tested.
And see, that's the thing, Chuck. Like, how many movies have you seen about Wall Street? And it's the party in the bathroom, the plate getting passed around, people doing quaaludes, all these things at these wild parties. But yet, this is supposed to be the top percentile of the country. So I keep saying it. They implement all of these things. And when I was speaking on the Facebook thing, I don't just be talking about, I know a couple of white conservatives who've had their comments banned. But if you're going to have Facebook as an open forum, it should be able to be all viewpoints, whether your ass like them or not. It's not for you to like them. It's an opinion.
That's just free speech.
Exactly. Hell, it used to be stuff, it's stuff that my own daddy says to me that I don't like. But I can't just say, that's it, fuck it, I'm banning you, you're no longer my daddy. The shit that you said went against my community standards. It don't work like that. But see, the problem is, we as a people can talk, we do all of the barking in the world, but when do we start biting? That's the one thing that they so scared of. If we was able to organize and finally come together, that's the day of reckoning. When we stop doing stuff like, you know what? Everybody, we just gonna take this week and no person of color get on Facebook. The people that's monitoring won't have shit to do. It won't be so much activity going on Facebook. I understand the mindset of a lot of our black mortars. If I could get them to open their eyes and see, if we came together as one, the power over this country we would have. But that's more of a task than trying to fight for them to pass an anti-black hate bill. I think that's the easier task than trying to get all of us to move together as a unit towards a common cause. And it's crazy that I sit up here and can do shows like this for the rest of the year. Will probably make me lose followers and all that. Oh, he talking that crazy stuff. He talking this. He talking that. But I could take it back to the Willie Lynch letter. You proved them right. We as a race often prove them right. Why? When you get on your page and you be like, oh, that's that light skin shit, and you're a black person, or when you look across the room and see another sister and you a female and like, that bitch thinks she, we do it to ourselves. Even my fellas, what hood you from? We don't know you, buddy. It ain't even your hood. Honestly, And I grew up on 6 Mile. But the fact that I didn't own shit on 6 Mile, ain't nothing from 6 Mile ever bring me no thousands of dollars. When do we get over that mindset of feeling like a celebrity because you look like something around the people you grew up with? Yeah, this show today, I pretty much wanted to sit up here and probably make somebody feel like I be feeling when I sit back and look at all of the stupid stuff that I see happening. So it makes me understand why a lot of our elders used to look at us and be shaking their heads like y'all generation gonna mess it all up.
Ozymandias just said, the gay community was given a reparations package. The Asian community has been given 2 reparations packages. Hell, America paid reparations to Italy because whites were lynching Italians back in the day. Look it up.
Exactly. But yet, what they gonna say? We partially gave them reparations. Look at all that free money we gave them in 2020. That's fucking crazy.
Lynching, that's not lunching.
Lunching. I was finna say, I figured it was lynching,
Yeah.
Chuck. I just cut you a break.
He said lunching. I just read it. I should have known it was
yeah,
lynching.
I just tried to skip past it. Like I know what Chuck meant. I hope he don't reiterate it and let the people know that Chuck's college educated for y'all, so y'all know he got a degree. That's a man with a whole degree that said the white people were lunching Italians. So what, they were eating them out, Chuck?
They were taking them on picnics, man.
Hey. So white people were feeding people pizza in Italy, and America sent reparations for them. But
Italy has very high standards for their pizza.
yeah, look. That's the one bright moment in our show this week, because the whole rest of the time, damn it, we're venting and getting it out of our system. I hope if my cousin Kayon watching this, it's like I say it all the time. Like, when do we look and realize this? I mean, I got a lot of people that's allies to me that understand how I feel and my cause and all of that, and I'm not sitting up here to say that, oh, you look at every white person and just know. But facts is facts. See, what makes a person an ally, they understand what our plight is. They understand what we're caused by their people towards our people. A lot of people want to say, get over it. But how is it? How can you get over something when it's constant? It's never a healing process for us as black people in America. It's constant. It's like after you win one battle, it's on to the next. After you win that battle, it's on to the next. And it's a never-ending thing. So before I leave, I really need people to add heed to this message and hear me good. Stop looking at our own ethnic group as competition. How can we compete against each other when we competing against the rest of the world? Competing just to be a normal person. When do you stop looking like, oh, I'm this and you that? And I'm saying this not only to y'all, but even myself, because I say some stuff on Facebook sometimes, like if you over 30 and you still living with moms and you broke, you a bump, this and that. I'm man enough to put my foot, to say I put my foot in my mouth and retract that statement. Because if you're trying to build something and you living in a household with your mom and you stacking towards something, that's a whole different thing. Because we need to take a page out of the Asians, the Hispanics. They come down here and 4 families might live in the same house. Make the rent and the bills cheaper, allow you to stack your money up. That is how you start some kind of wealth for your family. So I'm saying this to us. Everybody, do me this one favor. Just do me this one favor. When you pick up the phone and you finna call that homegirl or your homeboy, and you about to call him and y'all like, yeah, let's go hang out. We about to go do this. Think about the money you gonna spend on that night going to turn up. And say, hey, what kind of business could we collectively put together? Start being a little more innovative. If we start investing in ourselves and investing in our circles, but you got to know who can be in the inner circle and who just a part of the circle. And that's going to fly over a lot of y'all heads. You got to know who can be reliable and who can just be around. But let's start different movements as opposed to, he the man, he got long bread. How long is his bread? Because if your circle around you not progressing and you the only one progressing, you're not a boss like you think you is. A boss ain't somebody who get all of the money and just look at everybody else like, yeah, you need to get it like I get it. A boss is a person that get money and open the door opportunity for other people to get it too. Kings create other kings. So to my brothers and sisters, before I end this show, I say it to us just like this. The only way we ever gonna be able to progress, the only way we gonna ever be able to start trying to fathom correcting all these wrongs is to think more unity as opposed to competition. And that's for all people of color. That's for anybody that's not in the 1%. Until we come together for a common cause, be it white, black, Asian, Hispanic, until we all come together and realize it's a constant fight because we live in a country where it's all about capitalism. It's all about finance. Until we collectively come together and decide that we gonna play the game just as savage as they playing it, I'ma always find myself sitting at this table outraged. And the jewel I'ma leave y'all with this week is more to life than a turn up. It's more to life than who look like the man in the hood. It's more to life than wanting to look like something when in the eyes of people that's really doing it, you're looking like a fool. And to my people with sense, I say, Grind until your shine outshines them all. This been another episode of the Jackson Report. I thank y'all for tuning in and listening to me rant this hour. Good night, people. Life's a game, but I figured it out. Sitting on the steps at Granny House. This world is strange, but I picture my route. Sitting on the steps at Granny House. Life's a game, but I figured it out. Sitting on the steps at Granny House. This world is strange, but I picture my route. Sitting on the steps at Granny House. I grew up on the block with all the pimps and the crooks. Nerd with it, kept my pen in the book. Oh, I'ma be off the hook. They saw me write it, but I wouldn't let them look. I'm thinking one day I'ma read from this book. Watch out, be leaving them shook. Let's take a look and journey deep in my mind. Mama died trying to hustle, I'm completing the grind. My intervention's divine, it's the reason I shine. I bring relief they've been so eager to find. So unique every line. Granny told me always speak my truths. Got a gift, heat the booth and always leave my proof. Always be my own man, I don't need no group. Told me walk my own path, don't get caught in the loop. Nah, fuck truths, I'm always on a solo mission. Told them all I had a plan, but them hoes ain't listening. Now I'm sitting in position, though the star was deplorable. For moms, I'm a walking memorial. It's not just rhetorical. Life's a game, but I figured it out. Sitting on the steps at Granny House. This world is strange, but I picture my route. Sitting on the steps at Granny House. Life's a game.